So we got 2 days to get a little bit of practice for our test. Test will be Thursday. So one of the things we got to do when we have a table or set of ordered pairs or a lot of other things, we got to identify if it's a function or not. So let's just go through from left to right. First one here on the left, who can tell me if that's a function or not? Ethan? No. That is a function. Why is that a function?
Because it repeats them. Wait, it repeats them. It repeats.
All of the x's are different. If all of the x values are different, it's so that one is a function. All right, the one in the middle, Jenny. Not a function's correct. This one is not a function. Why is this one not? We got repeating x's with different y values. So we said like a soda machine, if you push the button, we push the button, got Dr. Pepper the first time, we push the button again, we got something different. Whoops. Third one, Aubrey. No. Keller? Is a function. Why is the third one okay?
Because it's matching on both sides.
It's matching on both sides. So even though the x's do repeat, the y's repeated with them. If the y's repeat with them, that means it can still be a function. All right. I don't know for sure if there are any on your test like that, but check-ins, EOGs, they sometimes like to sneak one on there like that where it makes it a little bit tougher for you. Normally we can just look at the x's, and if the x's repeat, it's not a function, but every so often they try to get a little tricky with you. All right, we also have to be able to do graphs. So who can tell me, is this graph a function? Why not? Yeah, you do the vertical line test. If you do the vertical line test and it crosses at more than 1 point, if a vertical line crosses at more than 1 point, it is not a function. I'm not asking linear or nonlinear. Linear or nonlinear is like our straight lines. We're just looking for how many times the vertical line crosses if we're looking for if it's a function or not. All right, so how about this one here? Is this a function? Yeah. So same type idea. We got a vertical line. If I take my vertical line and move it across, everywhere it's only crossing at 1 point. So they don't have to look perfectly straight or anything like that for being a function. All right, these little circle maps. Is this one a function? It is a function. The reason it is a function, my x's, the x's are on the left, y's are on the right, repeating. To have repeating x's would make it not a function, okay? But since each x only has one line coming from it, that means it's okay. How about this one then? Yeah, we got 2 lines coming from the number 2 here. Since we have 2 lines coming from number 2, that makes that one not a function. Okay? Any questions so far? So about half your test is just stuff like that. Is it a function? Is it not a function? All right. What about linear or nonlinear? So what I did basically, I put basically 4 answer choices on one graph. Normally they'll give you 4 separate graphs, but that doesn't fit great on the board. So who can tell me which color non-linear? Taquan? The red. Red is non-linear. So you can see the red line definitely got a curve to it. Curves make it non-linear. If we look, green line, that's a function and a linear function. Purple dots, those are linear. They're also a function. The blue line is linear. It makes a straight line, but it is not a function. A vertical line wouldn't be a function, but it does count as linear, okay? Everybody good on those? Linear, nonlinear, pretty easy to tell with a graph, or hopefully pretty easy to tell. Equations make it a little trickier. Who thinks they can come to the board and put those in the correct columns? Tess is going to have something like that. Carletta. Y'all, your check-ins, EOGs, they got drag and drop type stuff. This is a good way to get like a drag and drop where you have to put them in certain categories. All right, so we got 3 that are currently incorrect. Who can fix them? Keller? All right, so the easier thing to do is to look at the nonlinear ones and what makes them nonlinear. Exponents. They can be on the x's, they can be on the y's. If you have an exponent on a variable, that makes it nonlinear. Variables times variables. When we distribute, that'd be x times x. That makes it nonlinear. You could have y times x times x, y times y. Anything where you have a variable times a non-variable makes it nonlinear. Variables in the denominator also make them nonlinear. Variables in the numerator, those are okay. Variables in the denominator give us that curved line and make them nonlinear. Any questions on those? Like I said, that's a pretty good way to get some of that drag and drop stuff that they do, the technology questions. All right, we need to be able to tell if this is linear or nonlinear. So go ahead, try to figure out if it's linear or nonlinear. Nonlinear is incorrect. Linear is correct. Wow. All right, so we look at the increase or decrease. This one I made trickier on purpose, okay? So if I'm going from -3 to -1, that's up 2. -1 to +1, that's up 2. 1 to 4, that's up 3. Normally, we would think, oh, that means it's nonlinear, okay? But if we look at the x's, up 2, x's go up 2, x's go up 3. What it is a ratio between the y and the x's, okay? So we'd have 2 over 2. What is 2 over 2? Two over 2 is 1. So if I have the y over the x, that makes it 1. If we do y over x with the 3's, well, 3 over 3 still is 1, right? That's what makes that linear, okay? Everybody kind of follow? Like I said, usually I don't get as tricky like that for 8th grade math. They save that stuff for math 1, but do have to kind of pay attention there. All right, so we need to describe the function over the interval -5 to -2. So we need 2 words for it, right? -5 to -2 is basically that section right there. Nonlinear and increasing. All right, so our graph can either increase or decrease. As we go from left to right, that's what we're looking for. So if I start at the left and I move to the right, that's going up. Everybody good on that part? Since it's going up, that means it is increasing. The line is curved, that means it is nonlinear. So it's nonlinear and increasing. If we go to the next little section, if I went from -2 to +1, that is then decreasing and nonlinear. And then our last little section, from 1 on, that's increasing, that's linear. Okay? Any questions on that? When it's multiple choice, that's sometimes going to be a little bit easier, so you don't get like what the choices are mixed up. But they can be increasing or decreasing, linear or nonlinear. Okay?